Most grocery stores pride themselves on having the freshest food, but there's a new supermarket in Denmark that is taking the opposite approach by selling only damaged or expired foods. Just recently expired foods. Before you say gross, hear me out, because it's actually a very interesting idea. They recently opened a grocery store. It's called We Food. It aims to not only cut down on food waste, which is terrible everywhere, but in Denmark apparently is very bad, and also become an important source of affordable nutrition to those who can't afford high-end groceries. So people who are on some sort of fixed budget or low income, they can get the food they could not afford normally. Markdown is up to 50% on a lot of these items. So would you shop in a store? I think I would.
We already do this. In my household, in California, we've been doing this a lot. In grocery stores, they have the ugly fruit and ugly vegetable aisle. And we get our ugly fruits and ugly vegetables because there's such a... to get an orange past, to be sold, there's a lot of regulation.
They're cute, too.
But they say like a can, like a damaged good, if a can has a ding in it, they say it's damaged. It's fine, So this is like
as long as you smell it and it smells okay, that's to me the test.
We do a sniff test in our house. Like the milk, I'm like, I make my husband take a sip. I'm like, it's good for them. It's good for the kids.
Exactly.
It's a sniffer test.
They'll never know.
Never know. They still have their functioning organs.
No, to me, no way.
There's tests you can do. Like I do.
Why do I want to do work for my food? Let me get it fresh and let it expire.
You don't want to be
But maybe you can't afford it. There are people who can't afford some of these products.
Eggs are so expensive, and if you go by the date on the carton, I would throw away a dozen eggs every week. So I do the float test. You just drop them in water. If they sink to the bottom, they're good. If they float to the top, throw them out. And you'd be surprised. A lot of times, like I've dumped like 6 eggs in there, and they all sink to the bottom, and on the carton it says they're expired. So I just saved myself like $8.
For the sell-by date and the expiration date.
Exactly.
That can get really confusing.
Is the market you're shopping at Trader Joe's? Because I know they're starting this too.
They do it at Ralph's now.
Oh,
at like
really?
major grocery stores.
But Trader Joe's donates the food too. I think they donate to food too,
which is another good thing. All right.
It's like City Harvest.
All right. Speaking of stories that end well, did you ever miss a flight and almost ruin your vacation? It almost happened to a family traveling into Florida to catch a Disney cruise. They probably saved up for a year for this. Mechanical failure delayed their flight. Then they were rebooked on a later flight. The father, Gary Spell, called Disney to say he wasn't sure if they could make the cruise departure. He was pretty convinced that they weren't going to make it. When they arrived late in Orlando, they were so surprised to find that Disney had arranged for a bus to pick them up. Yep, the company held the cruise for them for at least an hour to make sure that they had their Disney cruise, which is really lovely. But the one thing the article didn't do was interview other people on the cruise line as to whether, the thousands who are waiting, are you happy or not?
No, they were already drunk by that point.
It's a Disney cruise.
They drink on Disney cruise. Yes, there's alcohol.
I would have noticed. I would have been the one on the ship yelling, "Hurry up, Gary! Get here!"
I think it's great. We always talk about poor customer service, that Disney did that. Good for them.
I've never had good customer service like that.
I'm going to ask you a question, though. Have you ever been on the subway or someone, and like you're in New York, and they like someone keeps holding the door and holding the door and holding the door, and you're like, just hurry up, shut that door. So I can't.
Where are we going? Why are we always in such a hurry? Always. Why?
To see my children.
I don't know. Well,
We gotta hurry up before our food expires.